Welcome back to From Nothing to Completionist, the challenge where we start with a brand new World of Warcraft account and attempt to build the highest collection score possible, 1 point at a time. So after the absolute low of getting banned, I took a few days and made episode 8 and the poll asking for input on where the challenge should go. Over 600 votes later, the clear winner was option 2, to create a new account under the same Battle.net and continue where we left off. Just to address the obvious, this is risky as I still don't know what I supposedly did. I'm still appealing to different departments and will never give up that fight as I know I did nothing wrong. But in the meantime, I'm stuck in a boat without a paddle. I do want to acknowledge a big part of me did want to say screw it and walk away and not give Blizzard a cent more. But at the end of the day, I do enjoy the game and the community here we are building even more than I realized. And I'm stubborn. When I set out to complete a challenge, no matter how big, I want to see it to the end. So that's how we end up here. Option 2 it is. So I went about with creating a new account under my same Battle.net and decided to jump right back in where I left off, with a Blood Elf Paladin. Since I didn't realize Max Collector was playing on hardcore and put to rest by the Blizzard overlords, it was only fitting my new character would be called Maxreturns. So I created him with a similar look to his predecessor and then made a somewhat unfortunate error. Since Midnight came with a level 80 boost, I figured I'd jumpstart my progress by boosting Maxreturns right to level 80. When we left off last time, Max Collector was level 86, and I figured this would be a harmless catch-up mechanic to jump us right back into action. Spoiler alert, that was an incorrect assumption. The boost to level 80 for some reason unlocked 375 achievement points immediately, along with 4 new mounts. What did I just do? So after further investigation, it gave me achievements such as reaching level 80 on 2 classes, which I expected, but others, such as a bunch of Dragonflight mount quest achievements and mounts, all exploration achievements for Eastern Kingdoms which I hadn't yet completed, all Cataclysm zones, a bunch within War Within, and also a lot of War Within reputation rewards. This was more than slightly annoying. Yes, I had lost the collection points from Max Collector's Gold, which was at 260, but I gained 375 achievement points and 4 new mounts, which gave me a boost of 455 collection points immediately. Now, some of those achievement points I would have easily gotten in my journey, like the 6 Eastern Kingdom Zone Exploration Awards for Hinterlands, Arathi Highlands, both Stranglethorn zones, Hillsbrad Foothills, and Silverpine Forest. But it didn't sit right with me to take this jumpstart and move right to Burning Crusade so easily. So with that in mind, I set out to smash through the 5,000 collection point mark before unlocking Hellfire. So, where do we start? I wanted to ensure I still had all my pets and was able to complete the pet battle daily, so we started with the usual Kalimdor loop. We got through this without issue. This is one of the main reasons option 2 is so much better, is that all of our hours of pet battling we put in is retained. Thanks to Elena Flutterby, we unlocked the Pro Pet Group achievement for raising 15 pets to level 25. After a bunch of random guild invite requests, I decided to take up Crushing Buttons on their generous offer. Thanks mostly and selfishly to the fact they had the highest guild achievement score and I figured would have more goodies for me to buy once I got a high enough reputation with them. Thanks guys. Luckily for me, the cooking daily in Undercity was the last we needed for the Let's Do Lunch Undercity and the A Bunch of Lunch meta for completing all the cooking dailies in Orgrimmar, Thunderbluff, and Undercity. As their tracked account wide, we were able to continue where Max Collector left off, 20 achievement points right there. While in Undercity, I uncovered I was still missing the Undercity rat from our pet collection. Along the way, to find one, we got a rare upgrade for our maggot pet. I was going to quit the hunt after getting a common rat, but as I said before, I'm stubborn, and spent another 10 minutes cycling through pets until finally getting an uncommon type Undercity rat. I figured it would be good to get moving on our fishing and cooking levels again, because I didn't want to go into the Burning Crusade without having 300 fishing and cooking, so that's exactly what I did, boosting them up to 150 each on the first day. I also moved into a new house, carrying over what we had created on our last account, and picked up the lumberjack ability again to continue harvesting wood. I picked up the exact same professions as Max Collector, mining and skinning, so as to not cheese the achievement unlocks for different professions. After all, I haven't unlocked any alts yet and won't until 5000 collection score. I wanted to hit at least 150 mining to be able to fully mine mithril and 300 skinning before proceeding with questing achievements to ensure I was getting value for both my mining and skinning along the way. With fishing, cooking, mining and skinning now all up to where I wanted it to be, it was time to jump back into the questing grind. The first zone in our sights was the Troll Haven of the Hinterlands. This is a relatively quick zone to complete and took less than an hour overall. Along the way, we picked up the 2 pets we were missing for the zoo, the Jade Oozling, and then followed by the Brown Marmot. I also achieved the 1500 quest completion mark. It's really hard to fathom that we're now more than halfway to 3000 completed quests and earning the title it awards, the Seeker. Eventually, we popped the Hinterlands quest achievement for another 10 points and another zone checked off the list. Just south of the Hinterlands was the Arathi Highlands, which was another quick zone to complete. We were missing just 2 pets, and of course it took way longer than I would have liked to find at least uncommon quality for each, but we got it done in the end. Starting with the adorable Grasslands Cottontail, and then followed by the fierce Tiny Twister. After that, it was time to buckle down and push through the rest of the quest chains and earn the Arathi Highlands quest achievement.
Can I help you? Have a good one.
I was on a roll and wanted to complete one more zone before taking a break from questing, and the next in my sights was Silverpine Forest. This is one of the longer zones to complete, with a storyline that's top-notch featuring Lady Sylvanas Windrunner. Let's get after it and knock it out. The final scenes with Sylvanas being killed and then the sacrifice of her Valkyr to resurrect her is another prime piece of storytelling.
What joy is there in this curse?
We did also secure 2 new pets along the way as well, with the undead type Blighted Squirrel, followed by the magic type Lofty Libram. Next up, it was a bit of fun with the Lawn of the Dead series. Warcraft over the years has embraced pop culture through its various expansions, and this is yet another example of just that. Plants vs. Zombies was a huge gaming hit. It was released the year before Cataclysm was, and Blizzard added this minigame as a nod to the budding franchise. Basically, you have to plant different types of plants in order to survive zombie waves. 100% logical and realistic, of course. The end goal is to finish the final quest and acquire the Singing Sunflower, a strong, rare pet type, which will be the first in our arsenal to have the sunlight ability, which is great for many strategies later on. Unfortunately, there were many bugs in the quest chain, much of which was verified by Wowhead comments and not just for me. The main issue was sometimes the game would bug and all of my plants would suddenly disappear. Zombies would sometimes ignore plants and walk through them. Or, my favorite, was that the final plant, the one which was supposed to be the key to winning the minigame, the pumpkin bomb, just straight up did nothing and didn't work. Great. That meant I had to be creative in my strategy and plan extra shooters and defense, and eventually I managed to secure the win and get Azeroth. I wanted to generate some more gold with mining and took the opportunity to go from 150 all the way up to 290 thanks to a few laps of fellwood and then smelting down all the mithril and thorium we had in our bags. I listed them all in the auction house and we'll check back later in the episode to see how much profits we generated from our gathering. With skinning now at 300 and mining at 290, we're back in business on that front for the Burning Crusade unlock. Questing was calling me back once more at this point. We had already knocked off 3 of the 6 remaining Eastern Kingdom zones for our Loremaster achievement, and the last zone in the northern half of the continent that stood in our way was Hillsbrad Foothills. Along the way, we caught an uncommon type infested bear cub, and thanks to most of the quests in Silverpine and Hillsbrad giving rep for the nearby Undercity, we popped the 15 Exalted Reputations achievement. Also, with some not so subtle foreshadowing, this is hugely beneficial to us later in the episode. Before too long, we made it to the final quest chain and nabbed the 10 points for the Hillsbrad Foothills quest. That left one thing left to do in the zone, catch the elusive snowshoe hare. This is an event spawn, and they will never spawn on their own. Alterat Mountains has only 3 pet spawn locations, and they're always rats in the creepy town of Stranglethorn. Once defeated or killed, that opens a window where the snowshoe hare can spawn in the zone, either as a regular critter NPC or a battle pet. Now yes, I am aware they can also spawn as secondary pets in the Dalaran Crater subzone sometimes, but still, I was hunting for an uncommon version as usual and was going between the Dalaran Crater and Alterat Mountains for close to an hour. Along the way, I caught a rare type chicken, along with a rare type red-tailed chipmunk, until finally I caught my elusive uncommon snowshoe hare. All that's left for us questing wise is the 2 most southern zones in Eastern Kingdoms, Northern Stranglethorn and the Cape of Stranglethorn. First up was Northern Stranglethorn, home to Zul'Gurub, yes, but since that was a Cataclysm dungeon, we're not going to be able to tackle that until 20,000 collection score, quite a few episodes down the road. I started by focusing on the many pets we were missing from the zone, including the Crimson Moth, Forest Spiderling, and the Lizard Hatchling. I also picked up quite a few rare or upgraded quality or level pets, which made it a gold mine for the zoo. After that, it was time to dial in and knock out the questing elements of the zone. The first milestone of which was the Hemet Nesting Wary questline in the north of the zone, which gave the achievement the Green Hills of Stranglethorn. Following which, we trucked through the rest of the questlines. It was especially nostalgic and quite hilarious to go back to Zul'Gurub and play as a raptor hatchling to try to escape. After over 2 hours in the zone, between pet battles and the expansive chains, we got to the finish line by completing the B-Raptor quest to complete the Northern Stranglethorn quest achievement. 5 down. Just the Cape of Stranglethorn sits between us and Loremaster of Eastern Kingdoms. Before making the final questing push, I decided to circle back and finish the last 2 classic dungeons we were missing, starting with Gnomeregan. It's so much more convenient to get to in Modern Warcraft for Horde characters thanks to the portals that are available. We made quick work of Mechjanir Thermoplug in Gnomer first, followed by Lord Godfrey in Shadowfang Keep. He also helped us to secure the Classic Dungeon Master achievement for completing all 19 classic dungeons. This was another coordination win for the maxes and felt good to get checked off the list. After this, it was time for our pet dailies, and our good friend Stone Cold Trixie helped us to level yet another pet to level 25, which unlocked the All Pets Allowed achievement for raising a pet of every family to 25. Our rare type Mountain Cottontail we got in episode 7 from Red Ridge Mountains was lucky enough to be our 15th pet leveling to 10 to pop the Rookie Pet Group achievement. A victory over Anna Lynn was also good enough to ding level 81, Maxreturns first level, and it was only fitting it came from a pet trainer given our overall effort in that area of the game. It was time. The push for Loremaster of Eastern Kingdoms was finally almost over. I can't state enough how big of a deal this milestone is. Loremaster for vanilla zones consists of 28 questing zones, generally ranging from 1 to 2 hours each to complete. This undertaking alone was over a day of actual time to complete and took us the better part of the past 7 episodes of gameplay. This challenge can be daunting, considering we've barely scratched the surface of the overall achievements and collectibles in the game. But short-term milestones are the key for how my brain is wired to achieve massive tasks. Loremaster of Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms was one such yardstick for me. I think way back to our very first episode and our first zone quest achievement as Shara. Then, when we completed Loremaster of Kalimdor by finishing Ungoro Crater. Now finally, we end up here, in the Cape of Stranglethorn, with the best pop of the whole series to date. Loremaster of Eastern Kingdoms. Hell yeah. With that under our belt, it was time to celebrate, and for some crazy reason, my idea of celebration was to try and tackle some of the rarest pet drops in the game. These aren't pets you can just buy from a vendor or pick up from a quest. Every single one of these is an incredibly rare drop from old world mobs or dungeons, and some of them have drop rates as low as 1 in 5,000 or even worse. Not only do these pets count towards our collection score, but they're also some of the most valuable items we'll come across throughout this challenge. Depending on your server, some of these can sell for tens or even hundreds of thousands of gold. So every one that drops is a huge win and a massive chunk of gold we will save ourselves. I made a rule earlier in the challenge that for very rare drops we should at least put some effort into farming them ourselves before just buying it from the auction house. Same applies for these pets. I think an hour of farming for every 10k gold is fair. So if I want to spend 100k gold on an item that I could technically farm myself, I'd need to put in 10 hours of farming. Now here's the good news. None of these farms require difficult mechanics or complicated achievements, just time and a lot of patience. Every mob we kill could be the one that drops a pet worth massive amounts of gold and gives us another step forward to becoming the ultimate completionist. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I locked in and decided to start with farming the Dark Whelpling in wetlands. Okay, I guess RNG was on our side this time. It took only 22 minutes to grab the pet. Insanely lucky given its stated drop chance. So I mean, since we got lucky once, might as well ride the hot hand by farming the tiny Crimson Whelpling, also from wetlands, which can drop from any mob. I went back to the hyper spawn I used before to get skinning level 300, and once again bared down for the long haul. No way. So 24 minutes later, we're the proud owners of yet another Whelpling. I couldn't believe my luck. The first Whelpling was shocking enough, but to get two back to back within an hour, wild. Absolutely wild. So naturally, I had to continue riding the hot hand, moving over to Winter Spring to try my luck on the Azure Whelpling. And as was always inevitable, after an hour of grinding, I came away empty-handed. Still, not all is lost, and that hour will add 10,000 gold to my available budget to buy it. I also came away with a ton of ore, arcane crystals, and even a pair of the ever valuable Owl Beast leggings for my trouble. After grinding mobs for a couple hours of game time, I was ready to switch gears to lower hanging fruit, starting with defeating a pet in Darnassus, which popped the Big City Pet Brawling Alliance meta, and also the overall Big City Pet Brawler. It also gave me the Ultimate Trainer achievement for reaching 300 Pet Battle achievement points. All that for a great level 2 red-tailed chipmunk. Not a bad deal at all. I had made a TSM buy list for the rare pet drops I had listed earlier in the video, and you can see just how crazy the prices for some of them are. That Azure Whelpling was selling for 80k, wow. At any rate, I saw the Green Wing Macaw, the Dead Mines rare drop, was only going for 125 gold, so I picked it up, as that's next to nothing in the grand scheme, especially since Dead Mines is always such a pain to get to. The cooking daily helped us gain yet another level, 82. With our pet battle achievements really progressing well, I decided to invest in an elk plushie. There are a bunch of achievements tied to the pet, which is somewhat of a meme since it doesn't attack, but just has a massive health pool and is a bullet sponge. Definitely worth the 500 gold to get a jump start. While scrolling through the achievement pane, I remembered the crispy bacon achievement for eating 6 in a row, 48 gold for another 5 points, so very worth it. This pushes us over 5,000 points, and we've officially made it to the Burning Crusade. Not only that, but this also allows us to create our first alt. This will allow us to begin crafting, have a second chance at raid transmog each week, along with a heap of other advantages. In addition, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, since we had the whole debacle with the level 80 boost where we gained quite a bit of collection score, I want to not just hit 5,000. I'd like to go at least 200 collection score above, if not more. But there's still more I want to accomplish before moving on. Remember when I said earlier in the video that getting that 15th Exalted faction would pay off? Well, here we are. Undercity Exalted allowed us to purchase all 7 Skeleton Warhorse faction mounts. And as this also unlocks 7 Alliance equivalent mounts, similar to what we saw with Silvermoon City and Orgrimmar rep, this was good for 14 mounts and 280 juicy collection score. A quick perusal of the trading post saw me realize there was a mount I hadn't yet grabbed this month, the Wailing Banshee's Charger. It's only a ground mount, but damn is she pretty. 20 more points in the bag. So just like that, I'd hit all targets I had in mind before our first expansion unlock. But to give a little insight into my brain, this was my next train of thought. I didn't want to go through the portal until I had cleared all the vanilla raids. And I didn't want to do MC until I was revered with Hydraxian Warlords again to save time ultimately to hit Exalted. Makes no sense, I know, but I headed to Blackrock Mountain to farm 20 trash resets of Molten Core in order to hit that magic revered mark. Completing this gave me a ton of trade goods, including almost 500 dark iron ore, 7 blood of the mountain, and also, amazingly, Cloudkeeper leg blades, a godly unique transmog item with a hefty market price. I guess there are benefits to my madness after all. After I hit Revered, I then cleared the bosses of Molten Core, along the way unlocking the housing achievement couponing for beginners. And then, amazingly, as if my luck was not crazy enough this episode, I got the Eye of Sulfuras. This legendary item has a reported drop rate of 4% and is needed to craft the Hammer of Sulfuras, Hand of Ragnaros. This is Ragnaros' weapon. One of the most iconic and symbolic weapons in all of World of Warcraft. This settles it. My first alt needs to have blacksmithing, and we're going to craft this bad boy ourselves. One of the 3 legendary item drops from Molten Core completed. Just need both bindings now for Thunder Fury. After Molten Core, we ran Blackwing Lair, and while it wasn't as exciting, we did score the Judgment Boots, bringing us to 3 of 8 of the Paladin T2 set. After we dispatched with Nefarian, it was time for AQ40 to restart our Brood of Nosdormu rep grind, and in no time we had dispatched with Cthulhu, and bringing everything I had wanted to accomplish in this episode to a close. What a whirlwind these last few days have been, from the ban to the massive support on the channel and the poll. Option 2 enacted, the boosting debacle, and then grinding hard to polish off Eastern Kingdoms and push us over the limit. I feel really accomplished and happy with where we've ended up. We finish at 3,185 achievement points. That's from 357 total achievements out of 5,863, or just over 6%. We completed Loremaster of Eastern Kingdoms, as well as every possible questing achievement we're able to for both Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor. Same goes for the exploration achievements. In terms of mounts, we end at 65 total. The episode saw us add 19 total mounts. 4 were related to the level 80 boost, 14 from Undercity Exalted, and 1 from the trading post. For pets, our final tally is 205 total. As for toys, they remain unchanged at 35 total for now. Let's now turn our attention to gold. We have 6,531 gold in our bags. But as I've yet to clear any auctions from the mailbox, let's take a quick peek. Wow, okay, lots of juicy items in there. Mostly trade goods. The big ticket items are dark iron bars, blood of the mountains, arcane crystals, and different types of bars. Let's get all this into our bags. $30,507 gold from our auctions on this brand new account. Not bad at all. Let's look into the overall gold earned to calculate how much collection points we've generated. 604 gold looted, plus 4,653 gold from quest rewards. Then, if we look at our TSM ledger for all revenue, auction and vendor sales, we secured 35,729 gold. All told, that's a whopping 40,986 gold revenue earned. Good enough for 81 total collection score for gold. Now, there's just one thing left to do. Walk through the dark portal into Hellfire Peninsula. Thanks for all the support through this past week of account drama. Thanks to everyone as usual for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. The support has been overwhelmingly positive once more. Happy collecting, everyone. I'll see you in our next episode.